Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fitness Panel Lab. Today is our third episode, and basically what we're talking about today is a product called Vipr. Now, for a lot of you who live in the UK, I know that the word Vipr it's a pretty common word now in the fitness industry. Was one of the fastest growing products ever to be launched in that area, actually in 2010, 2009. But in the US market, the Vipr's only been around now for just about 9 to 10 months in the sort of public domain. So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to give you a couple of different stories, a little bit of the background on Vipr, about some of the early sort of adopters of who sort of embraced it and helped to really make the charge to one of the reasons why Vipr has been so successful, and then obviously do our product review and talk a little bit more about the actual product itself too. So again, this will be a two-part series, and I hope you enjoy it. So the first really important thing to know about the Vipr is that the person that actually invented the Vipr was a gentleman by the name of Michel Daucourt. And Michel Daucourt, I guess he probably claimed himself to be the sort of travelling nerd, and for a good 10 to 11 years he was one of the main live educators that travelled the world for personal training on the net. So he would present to trainers, and he had a real passion for anatomy and especially moving into the sort of concept around fascia. And what was interesting was that Michel used to work in a place called Edmonton, which is one of the coldest places in the world, and he used to work with a gentleman called Simon Bennett out of a studio called Body by Bennett. And in my very early days, when I first met Michel many years ago, I also had become friends with Simon, and Simon was, and still is, the sort of #1 sort of trainer and training sort of provider there, working with the NHL and lots of different sort of athletes all throughout that sort of Edmonton, Alberta area. Michel was working in Simon's studio. They were looking to pull up an old carpet, and as they pulled it up and then rolled it, it actually stayed in the studio there for a couple of days. And what the boys started to do with this big piece of carpet basically was they started to play with it with their clients, to get them to throw it around and slap it on the ground and roll it, and do leg work on it as it rolled. And really from that sort of very simple beginning actually became the concept for the Vipr. Now, Vipr has been distributed all around the world by a company called Fitness Professionals based out of the UK, and also have an office in Denver, Colorado. And they've done an amazing job of getting this out to the world. And like I said, it launched first in the UK and just had phenomenal success being used by many different professionals. Richard Branson, when he owned the Virgin Clubs, a lot of different athletes, and everyone really just embraced the product really well. And now that it's into the US market, it seems to be having a lot of success in a lot of different areas, whether it's military, the health club chains. And one club chain that actually had an exclusive on it for 6 months was the Equinox Club chain, based out of New York, and they did an amazing job of developing small group PT and group formats around the Vipr. And since then, now it's really just grown into a bit of a phenomenon. But I guess again, one thing, like I mentioned with the first couple of products we talked about here on the Fitness Panel Lab, including the freeform board and the Sandbells, is that it's a very simple concept. So Vipr really is, it's that rubber tube with the two handles on the one side and then the single handle on the back. So the actual concept itself is it's very simple. It's very easy to understand, and the variances now in what you can use the Vipr for now have really made it one of those tools, a bit like the last two tools that I mentioned, that make it sort of have this unlimited variability as to what you can do with it, because it's waterproof, so it can be dragged in the water, it can be slam dunked. It can be you can basically do anything with this tool, and again, it's very similar to the Sandbell in that you can drop it, it's not going to hurt, and has a lot of great application. Also too, one of the biggest companies that really helped get behind in the very early stages of the Vipr was a company called PTA Global. And as I mentioned with the other two, today's shirt, PTA Global shirt, thank you boys. 26 of the world's top authors, and it created a really amazing certification and advanced content company. They had hosted a bunch of mentorships in 2009, 2010 and 2011, and they had actually hosted a sort of Vipr workout on the final day of the mentorship. So they drive up to the beach, up near Solana Beach actually, where Michel lives, and they would do take everyone through workouts in the water, on the beach, on the stairs, and it really became it really got embraced very heavily throughout those throughout the PT Global mentorships, and then it really spread throughout the sort of US market. So what's nice about the Vipr is that you've got a lot of varying sizes, and all the sizes are actually stamped on the Vipr, which actually makes it nice. But because we're talking UK, and because it's been used and then predominantly made out of the UK market, a lot of it's talked in kilograms, which is more what I'm used to from Australia. But so this is the 6 kg version, and then this big black one here is a 12k version, but they vary right through right up to sort of 20 and sort of 30 kg versions too. So I'm going to play for you a lot of videos after the review, which we'll go through and talk a lot more about how the Vipr's being used, who's using it, and there's just a lot of great sort of people connecting with this product. And again, it's it's nice and simple. It's rubber, it's very durable, and so far it's been a bit of a hit in the marketplace.